I'm Megan,
And I'm Mornay,
and welcome to Fresh Trend Digital.
your online marketing magazine.
Today we're going to be discussing the top 10 signs that you need to redesign your website in 2019. Okay, so starting off with number 1, your website is not mobile responsive.
Well, this has become a huge issue at the moment because if your website's not mobile responsive, then you'll find that your site won't be showing up on various searches. Like if it will show up on a search on a laptop or desktop, but won't show up on a search, let's say on a tablet or mobile device.
Okay, so you basically want your site to be mobile responsive. So this means that it's resizing across all devices, from mobile, tablet, desktop, laptop screen sizes. You want all your pop-ups, headers, footers, your sliders, and anything else to resize to the screen size. If it's not doing that, you're going to have your customers clicking away from the site because it's not user-friendly, or they're going to be scrolling for ages and ages. It gets ridiculous, and you use the two little fingers, zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out, let's move around.
Because one of the other issues that you have is a site will look stunning on a laptop or a tablet, but then you'll find on the mobile this lovely slider or banner that you have totally disappears and it's not there. Or you find that the text itself might look lovely on a tablet and a desktop, but might be too big. The typeface might be too big on a mobile device.
Sometimes the headings also are too long for mobile devices. So that's
true.
just another thing to watch out for. Number 2.
Your site is difficult to update. Now, what has happened over time is you have people that have developed, or your developers or designers have developed your sites in, let's say, HTML or PHP, and it's extremely difficult to update because you have to go to the developer who initially did your site to ask them to maintain that site or do that update for you.
And not only that, when it comes to wanting to add stuff, it becomes costly if the developers or designers have to do this. And, updating yourself, not everybody knows the code.
It's also, if you've got, let's say, an older site, and you want to change the look of the site, you actually have to end up redeveloping your whole site from scratch again to go with the modern trends.
This is coding for the whole look and feel of the site from scratch. That is not a fun game.
And also many grey hairs.
But basically, with the newer platforms that are there, such as WordPress or Joomla, there are a bunch of others as well, which make it easier, and it's as simple as posting to Facebook at the end of the day.
Especially, it gives you access to the back end of it, and if you want to change the look of your site at any time, you can just change the theme. A lot of them run on themes. The other advantage of using the modern content management systems is that you already have ready-made plugins. So the plugins are, let's say, it can be how a form works or how a shopping cart works. A lot of this is ready-made, so you don't actually have to spend months having a developer develop this for you.
Number 3, your site looks outdated. Guys, these are the older sites that have, they're not responsive. It's still your old design, using bland colors. I don't think you have any of the newer plugins that might make your site load a bit faster. The designs are old.
It's also a case that the technologies that are compatible on the internet are continuously changing. So that gives you the options from particularly a design perspective to make the sites look a lot more, I would say, more attractive, that to attract people to want to view your content more.
I think what a good example would be is if you go onto some sites, you'll see that they've got a very flat design where you want your site to have almost a bit of depth, so it doesn't look like this, I don't know, flat design at the end of the day. Basically on your buttons, using drop shadows on the buttons, just to make it actually pop out as a button. That would be an example of, a later design. And I think this is important because it also, helps you visually, or helps the site visually because it makes it more appealing.
That it does. So, if you want to have your site updated, contact us. Number 4, your conversion rate is too low. Very often people have these visions that they have a website and they're going to get hundreds of leads and people, this full mailbox of inquiries. But in reality, you find a lot of sites have a low conversion rate.
This is also not only from social media and your marketing. Your website plays a role in this as well. From its design, its loading time, which is another important factor, usability, and its responsiveness.
Because elements that come into play on load time are things like if you've got a video playing on the home page, if you've got large graphics, large pictures, it can also be really let's do this again.
No, look, you basically, if you've got a lot of images, you want to optimize your images and compress them. Also, have your designers save them as smaller files. That helps a lot.
It's also like if you take plugins with funny little widgets that pop up on the screen. It can be anything from referrals or social media plugins or chatbots. All of these have to first load on your site before the rest of your site loads. And
also you want a website that will load in about 6 seconds maximum. You can push about 8, but for big sites that you want lots of customers there, you want about 6 seconds max or less. Otherwise people are just going to click away because it's loading too long. Number 5, you've got autoplay on your website.
For those of you that don't know what autoplay is, it's a case of when your website opens, a video already starts to play on the site.
All that background music.
Oops, I don't like background music playing, especially if I've got all my tabs open.
Or if you're heading into a business meeting.
It also is something that slows down the loading speed of your site as well, and it becomes irritating if your users are return users to the site, and you want people to come back to your site on a regular. If they come back on a daily basis, I think they want to kill that computer screen.
But guys, we're not saying don't have videos on your website, but embed them from other places so that people can click on them if they want to watch the video. Don't have it on autoplay at all.
Because autoplay long term is just extremely irritating. Number 6, your branding isn't current. Now, the problem that happens over time is your business grows or your site grows, and you need to change with the times. It might be you get a new logo, a new color. your site or your business brand might have old colouring, and you need to look at fresh colours that are more relevant to your company now and the changing times.
Not only that, but keeping consistent with your corporate idea as well, because I think a lot of that goes onto the site as well. And if you've got newer stuff on your site and newer content, but you're still using your old logo on the site and your new logo on your printed items, it becomes a bit disastrous at the end of the day. And for a good example, if you take the Coca-Cola site, I mean, they've done various ads, they've done different themes over the years, and each time you take their site or look at their site, they've incorporated animation that does a flow through their branding, with its updates of the logo and having their logos animated, or the Christmas theme with the Santa Claus, with the Coke trucks, and that was all on the site.
But it also brings it back to the point that if your colours and logos change, you have to also maintain your site. You have to also, it may even mean update your site, being the corporate idea again.
And this is not just your images and your logos that needs to change on the site, it's also your theme. If you don't have a theme that works well, with your branding, and that your site is going to fail at the end of the day. Number 7, your site takes forever to load. Have you
Does not.
You might have come across some sites that, where they take too long to load, and then Google kicks you off and says page not found, or it's taking too long to load, server not reachable.
With your site taking too long to load, it also affects your positioning on Google, because Google looks at your usability score, and if your site takes forever to load, Google will drop you down the search engines.
And people are also going to drop you because they're not going to return to your site again. Or they just got to click away. So there's your info, bye-bye, down the drain, because you've lost visitors.
Because a way to remedy this is sometimes you don't know exactly how fast your site does take to load, because on your internet connection it can load fantastically well. But you're not taking into account other users. And a good way to check your load speed is that there's a number of tools on the internet that you can use to check load speed of your website.
Just Google website speed or page speed. A bunch of them will come up, and you can use any of them to test your page speed. Also remember, you want to optimize your images. You want to embed your videos, have them optimized as well. A lot of things come into play when it's using your websites to load, or making websites load faster. Another thing that's also to keep in mind is with your biggest websites, you also want to be able to have a compressor for your JavaScript and your CSS. That will also play a role in making your website load faster.
Number 8, your web design isn't consistent. So basically what that means is that each page of your website looks different. The style of each page is different.
And also, if you've had it designed long ago, you'll probably be using the available colors that were available online back then, and there's a lot more now that's available.
Okay.
This goes for fonts as well. A lot of new web fonts have been added. Menu types, menu designs, your headers, footers, sliders, galleries. All of this can play a role in how the website looks. And
it's all about keeping your brand consistent, because your brand on your website must also run with the brand you're using on your video, your social media, even your hard copy, being your business cards, letterheads, the whole spiel.
Yeah. Number 9, your Google rank is low.
Well, this actually comes from a number of factors. It can be that your website's loading too slowly. It can also be, nowadays, all sites need also an SSL certificate, which also helps on your Google positioning. You also need to look at the optimization of your site, because all of these issues have an effect on where your site positions.
I think also what plays a role, which a lot of businesses don't do, is that they list their business on the Google for Business listing. This does help your business a lot when it tries to rank. Also submitting your, XML sitemaps.
Your XML sitemaps.
That thing.
Because what the sitemaps do, they tell the search engines themselves what pages are listed on your website. There are some schools of thought that site titles, descriptions, and keywords no longer come into the equation. But currently, I find that it doesn't matter when you build your site. Always, I feel site title, site keywords, and site description for search engines always will come into play.
And guys, remember, your SEO also plays a big role in your site ranking. Don't listen to the guys that say SEO is dead, SEO doesn't exist, SEO doesn't help your site. That's a bunch of rubbish.
SEO will always have a place
because you basically, with SEO, you're giving the keywords for each different page that's loading. Each heading is taken into account. If you have your website linking to your social media pages, your hashtags, your content on the social media pages that might pull through to the site, or if your site has been shared onto social media pages, this helps your ranking on Google and other search engines. So you want to be as broad as you can. Online business listings help as well towards listing your website better at the end of the day.
I would say connect to as many business directories as possible, because what happens there, it brings what's known as backlinks back to your site.
Yeah. And also, if you've got, companies that use your services or resell any of your items, have them linked to your site as well, because this at the end of the day helps. We've taken some sites and we've put them onto, your first few pages of Google. I think you want to maybe be in the first 4 pages or try and get your site there, because usually people don't stop looking after page 4 or 5, for whatever they're looking for.
Well, actually, we want to target you on page 1 or 2.
Yeah, except Google Ads. Google Ads is taking the first page up.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. Number 10.
Your site just doesn't look good.
Okay, now this can be anything, guys. Seriously. It might be your look and feel. It might be your usability.
It's how your headings might look. It can be words or phrases on the site.
Your font types, images.
I would say a good way to see whether what people think of your site is to use a sample test of 10 people or 100 people, see what they say of your site, and from that point redevelop or redesign the site which is favorable to a large audience.
Okay, now you don't have to go like majorly and go and sign up onto like a survey site and create a whole survey. You can do a simple poll using Facebook, for example. If you've got business page, ask your customers in a poll, like what don't you like about my site, and give them 4 options, or what works well on my site and give them a few options. This is an easy thing to do on Facebook, which was brought in recently, and a lot of companies are getting feedback that way as well. If you take the amount of people that are on Facebook and are on social media during the day, it's a hell of a lot.
It is?
Yes. if you take the average person, okay, work day, they'd have their tea time, let's say at about 9, and spend half an hour on Facebook.
But they get up in the morning and they have to go onto their social.
Social as well, but I mean, then at 9 o'clock, and then at lunchtime, and then at 3 in the afternoon, they are on social media a hell of a lot. So, this is a quick way to get that type of data. We want to know from you in the comments as well. So comment below and tell us what makes a website irritating for you, or what is it that you don't like about websites. Please let us know in the comments below. Also, if you're enjoying this video, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you can be informed of when our next video is.